Hey everybody, it's Ray here. It's been a minute. I just wanted to hop on and make a video because I've been away from YouTube for a while, and I think the last video that I made was talking about what I was planning to do with surrogacy, and we were in the preliminary stages of planning and talking things through, and I made a video at one point when I got pregnant, and I don't know if I posted it because I used my iPad and it wasn't a great quality, but anyway, I have a new phone. So that's really been holding me back in terms of making videos, because I didn't feel like I had the right technology to do it and to do what I wanted to do. Even now, I'm not in an ideal place to make videos. I don't have a tripod, so I'm just holding my phone, and I'm like, you know what? It's been too long. I'm already more than halfway through this pregnancy, and I want to really share this journey online so that people who have questions or just curious can learn about it. So yeah, let's dive in. There's so many things to think about when it comes to surrogacy. As somebody who has had children of my own, and somebody who was married and now divorced, I have a very interesting view on, having babies and what that means in our world. Some people might call it progressive. Some people might call it anarchist or liberationist or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know what to call it, but it's definitely different. It's not traditional. And I think most people who do surrogacy, or who've thought about surrogacy, or who look at it in a positive way, are probably not traditional. Not always true, but because there are certainly different ways to do it. But the way that we're doing surrogacy, it's actually called traditional surrogacy because I am the egg donor, and so this child is biologically related to me. And at the same time, it's not traditional, because what we're doing is I'm going to be in the child's life, and they're going to know that I'm their biological parent, and they're going to be raised in a different place, not where I live, so a different city, a different place, and they're going to be related to their siblings, obviously my children, which means that they'll have the chance to cultivate a relationship with their siblings from day one. A lot of surrogate situations, whether they're traditional or gestational, the child who's born from the surrogacy might never meet the family or the person who made it possible for them to exist. So in that sense, what we're doing is not really traditional. What we're doing is very different, and it's what I would call queer, because I think queer people have been doing this for a long time. Queer people have been helping each other make families for a long time. and often there's this community feeling where everybody knows who the biological parents are and the siblings, and everybody is just sort of living in this community way. So there's that, and even though we're not going to be living in proximity with each other, we don't live super far away, and we'll be able to see each other pretty regularly throughout the year. It's not going to be this sort of secret that one day this child is going to find out that I'm their biological or real mom, or whatever, however people talk about it these days. It's it's going to be from day one, this child is going to know, this person is going to know, oh, this is the person who gave birth to me. I'm biologically related to them. I'm biologically related to their family. And I'm sure they're going to have lots of questions, and we are preparing for that. So this whole pregnancy journey and all of this has been an opportunity for us to expand our thinking and to think about ways that we can talk about this process in a positive and affirming way for our child. For this child who is going to be different just from day one, because they're not going to have the traditional setup of like mom, dad, like heteronormative family. So that's going to be different. And there's a lot of kids out there who have different family configurations these days. So, you know, it's a diverse world. And I think for us, like the way that we think about it, we're really trying to not necessarily normalize this, but we don't want to do it in the shadows. We want it to be known like this is a possibility, and it's beautiful, and it's really good for everyone involved. It's good for me, it's good for my children. You know, my children are asking me about the baby and the baby's name and like what the baby's gonna be like, and I'm like, I wonder if the baby will look like I wonder if the baby will look like like these are things that we're wondering, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's going to continue to be a beautiful thing, and people are going to probably be confused by it. Like, wait a minute, so who, I don't understand, like, how is this family configuration, how does this work? And on the one hand, I can see how people would be confused by it, but I can also see that it's only confusing because it's so rare, because it's not a common thing. At least it's not common for people to do it intentionally. So this is something very intentional that we decided to do for many, many reasons. For me, those of you who know me, I tend to be very much a deep thinker and a philosopher about life, and like, why do we do what we do? And when I think about heteronormativity and like why we configure families the way that we configure them, there's a lot that I think needs to change, and there's a lot that I don't agree with or think is not healthy for everyone involved. And so one of the ways that I think we change the world and the ways that we make things better is by doing things differently. You know, you can't just sit back and complain. You can't just sit back and think like, oh, this is horrible, things should be different. You can't just sit here and like complain about the patriarchy and then not do anything about it. That's my personal feeling. And so my way of doing something about it, instead of going out and like protesting, which there's definitely value in that, time and place for that. I'm not much of a protester. So for me, the way to encounter this and the way to enact change is by doing things differently. Okay, so not participating in the system is a way of subverting the system. And for me, like childbearing within the heteronormative nuclear family is part of the patriarchal system that we live in. So I'm doing something different in order to bring about the change that I want to see in the world, right? So this is like the big reason, right? And a lot of people wonder about surrogates being paid, and this is a big question. So I'm going to talk about this in a whole different video, but for now I'm just going to say that for me, in this time in my life, it made sense to do this as an act of generosity. And so I'm doing an altruistic surrogacy, which means that I'm not actually getting paid to do it. I do feel financially supported in many ways. I feel supported by the intended parent, and I feel like if this person like had a lot of money, that they would absolutely pay me, but they just don't. And that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be a parent, and that they don't and that this shouldn't be accessible to them. So I feel very strongly about access to things, and I also feel very strongly anti-capitalist, and so it makes me kind of angry that we even need to be paid at all for anything. And at the same time, I understand that the reality of the world is that in the current system, in order to survive, we need to have money. And that's just one of those things that, you have to accept. And in some ways, doing things for free and working in, like, doing gift economy, like practicing gift economy in daily life, that I think can help bring us towards change. But I don't know if it's the ultimate way that we're going to get there, because at the end of the day, if you participate in a gift economy and nobody else is participating, then you're just being exploited. And so yeah, there are times that I do feel that I have felt, especially when I was married and I was a housewife working from home. I worked for 7 years without getting paid. So and this is the invisible work of housewives everywhere. Here I go on my anti-patriarchy rage, my rant here. Yeah, women, historically women, with an X, have been taking care of their household, raising children, having babies, raising children, for free, without wages. It's basically slave labor. That's what it is. So that's a huge social question, like huge economic social question of how do we not do that? And there are lots of people who've tried to answer that question. I'm not going to, try to answer that here on this platform, but that is one of the pieces that plays into my reasoning for doing this for free. It would also play into my reasoning for doing it not for free, especially if it was for a family who was making a lot of money, who was in the upper class of society. I certainly wouldn't do it for free then. So there's that. It's all about context. So it just turns out that this person that I really admire and I think is a really great person who deserves to be, and already is, really, like, this person is already a parent. Just they want to parent a biological child, and I totally understand that desire, and I wanted to help them. So this is where that comes from, is like, even though I'm not being financially reimbursed, I feel like what I'm doing is helping to, again, create the change that I want to see in the world. So those are kind of the underlying, like, philosophical reasons behind what I'm doing. And in terms of the way that we're going about it and how we're making sure that the child knows who I am and how they came into the world and all of that, it's very important to me and to the intended parent that we are honest about all of those things, because for this person who's coming into the world, they're going to have questions, and we never want them to feel like it's some big secret, or like there's anything to be ashamed of about the way that they came into the world. Their story is beautiful, and it's going to continue to be a beautiful, beautiful story. So I just wanted to hop on here and give a little bit of more background, more talking about what's going on. Obviously, I'm pregnant, and I want to give more updates about, like, how the pregnancy is going, how we got pregnant, and what our plans are for the birth and all of that stuff. There's just so much to talk about. So much to talk about and so little time. But I'm going to leave it here for now, and I hope that you will, if you want to continue on this journey and, like, keep learning more about surrogacy and specifically the way that we're going about it, make sure that you like and follow and subscribe, because I'm not going to be releasing the videos on a regular schedule. It's kind of going to be intermittent. So whenever I release one, you'll get notified if you subscribe. I think you actually have to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified. But anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend, and until next time, take care.